story now. Gauteng Education MEC Matome Chiloane has condemned the incident that has gone viral involving a well-known pastor and a school in Katlehong. The man was captured on video allegedly threatening teachers with a weapon before removing 2 minors from a school. According to the department, the incident follows a dispute over custody of the 2 boys whose mother died earlier in the year. It is alleged that the boys' father tried to remove the children from the school without the grandmother's permission. The department says the Child Protection Unit will mediate the situation while psychosocial support will be deployed to the school. Right, let's get some more details on that story now. I'm joined by the Gauteng Education spokesperson, Steve Mabona. Steve, good to have you, and thank you very much for your time this evening. First and foremost, I mean, would concede that there are a number of players that would have failed here. Certainly, you would have the parents that would have failed in addressing this particular matter in a mature and a safe manner. You have the accomplices wielding pangas and guns who are said to be grandparents who also behaved in a manner that would have put the learners in jeopardy. However, there's also the system of schooling that seemingly is falling short here in terms of what it needed to do. How do you read it as the department?
Thanks very much, Thabo, and to all our viewers. It's quite sad that individuals will want to come to our schools and behave in that fashion. The trauma that is left to our children. I'm not talking about the 2 children that we see in that footage. We're talking about the entire, school community. It's a primary school, things that you don't need to see in a schooling environment. So it's quite sad that family disputes will then impact on the schooling environment in that fashion.
Yeah, you're saying our systems in schools would be overwhelmed by such. I mean, when you say, yes, such people will end up in our school grounds behaving in such a manner, are we unable to I suppose, come up with a better outcome than what we saw in terms of the systems that we put in place?
Schools are in communities, and you will expect communities to respect schools because these are developmental institutions which must at all times be respected. So you will expect parents to respect schools. So it's unbecoming that you will have such a behavior, irrespective of what happened. You can't. I mean, coming with such weapons, pangas, firearms, it's unpalatable. Yeah. Something that you really cannot accept in our schooling environment.
Of course, we have teachers. I mean, that are there. Teachers obviously are not your law enforcement officials, and therefore some might not even know how to respond to a person wielding armory of that caliber and of that nature. How then do you protect learners in such a situation? And I understand you can blame community. Yes, there's a role that the community played. Some of them were arrested. We know how that is playing out. But how do you, in that community, protect our learners in a schooling system?
You know that we have patrollers in a schooling environment. But patrollers, as it were, they are assisting to make sure that anything that happens in the environment, you then be aware. You will understand that we have a partnership with the police that will always be closer to you as a school. In the event of anything, they will come, and attend to your issues. So you would not expect members of the community to bring weapons in a schooling environment where, teachers are unarmed. If you come to school and want to negotiate, you can negotiate and make sure that whatever you are aggrieved about, you can resolve. I mean, if you bring both parties, you have probably the school as a mediator, if it were, because now you decided to come to a school. There's no way that teachers will want to release a child to a parent that is not a registered one,
Yeah.
as per the records. Surely they will want to resist because they know that the children must be released to a certain parent. So what happens at home cannot have an impact on what is supposed to be happening in our school environment. So those are the things that we really need to be careful as parents, because now teachers will then be in a difficult situation trying to intervene on family disputes, which is something that they will don't have to do that.
Yeah. What do you make of the counterclaim that the school itself was used as a venue for the abduction of the father who was being beat up inside the school, hence those who then decided to come into the school on a rescue mission? So it seems their counterclaim is.
No, according to information at our disposal, the father came to, get the children from school. So the beating up would not enter into that space. We don't even know what they're talking about. But you can't come to a school if you are not a registered parent that the school is accustomed to, or a guardian for that matter,
Yes.
and expect to just come to a school and take a child. The teachers need to play a custodian role at all times. They are parents. There's no way that they will want to act irresponsibly and release a child to someone that is not a registered parent or a guardian.
So as the department, you're saying you're distancing yourselves and maybe even the school and the teachers from claims that teachers were involved in assaulting the father of the two boys.
Now, according to the information that we have, we don't have such a thing.
Now, let's talk about that particular issue then. It seems, of course, matters are escalating here because of custody issues. Are schools equipped, in a sense, to be able to address those matters amicably if they are playing themselves out on the grounds of learning?
No, schools, they can't be expected. We really will not be expected to play that role. With Department of Social Development, that in nature, that's their responsibility to mediate in such dispute, not schools. Those should be taken there. That's why when we register, we want to know who's the guardian or who's the parent. That information would not then change if we are not made aware that this is the latest developments, and all the parties should be in a position to work with the school and inform them on this is what is happening now. So it can't be sporadic that it will just happen, as it were, that tomorrow you come and now you are now a guardian. Meanwhile, in our books, we have a guardian, and it will be irresponsible for us to just want to release a child to someone that is not in our books.
Yeah. So was that the crux of the meeting that the father was having? Because your own statement says the father was at the school for a meeting.
Yes, according to information that we have, is that the father came to the school, but then the grandparent that was the guardian also came to say, no, we are still responsible for these children. So the dispute that would have emanated from home at weekend, we don't know what the dispute would have been to say one want to take responsibility and the other ones are saying no, but you can't. We are still in charge. That would have happened at home. Now, we are sacrificial lambs because then it come to us. Now our educators must be exposed to, such incidences which endangers their safety, their livelihoods, which is something that we don't want to see. I mean, you could see in that video that a panga was flying around. What if it caught, one of our educators? It is something that was not going to be, tolerated. So those are things that we really don't need in our environment.
What is child protection going to do now in this particular matter?
Look, remember they are the custodians of children. They need to assist us. We are informed that they are playing a significant role, but you understand that there's a case that has been opened already. So once there's a case which has anything with to do with children, then they come closer. You will understand that children at some point, in the event parents are fighting or there's no amicable solution to this, then they need to work very closely with the social development to place those children in a place of safety. So those are the decisions that they will take depending on what happens, as it were.
Steve Mabona, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much for coming on. That's the spokesperson for the Department of Education in Gauteng.